Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John Kajushka, co-host and lead investigator for Canada's TV show True North Paranormal. You're listening to Adam Began on the Historically Haunted Show. Keep it creepy.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the second installment, episode 2, I should say, of the Historically Haunted Show right here on Paranormal King Radio Network. I'm really excited about my guest this week. I don't even have a script to read because I know him fairly well. I've never met him, but per se, talking-wise, I know him, I want to say like a brother. Jay Hill, he's the founder and the host, I guess co-host, but the host of the Studio 6 Paranormal podcast. He had me on as a guest a couple months back, and he's also the founder and leader of the Wisconsin Paranormal Research Team in Wisconsin. And he's given me. We'll get more into this, but he's in touch with his psychic abilities. He's not really one to boast about it, but he's given me some readings close to home about my deceased mom. Things that have been spot on since my car accident, my near-death experience. So it's someone I cherish as a friend, and I can't say enough good stuff about him. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. Welcome aboard, Jay Hill.
Thank you, Adam. It's my pleasure to be here. And yeah, it's, this has been long overdue. And I think this is one of the things that I kind of had said that you were going to be doing in the summer. So I was just kind of waiting for it.
I can't say enough when people, and I've had, of course, the more I'm kind of getting my feet wet into the field here, I'm getting a lot of offers and people coming to me, and I'm grateful for that. But Jay was literally one of the first people to really guide me and reach me and kind of open up and tell me, you're on to bigger things. You're going to have contracts, radios, TV, something's going to happen. And we're talking back in like, I don't know, March, April, maybe May of this past year when I had like 180, I'm up to like 600 friends. I had like 80 friends. I wasn't really known then. Yeah. I didn't have a radio show at all. I didn't even have really a paranormal team. And Jay brought me on because of my exploring. I have been doing that for a while. I'm kind of under the radar. But Jay saw something in me, and I'm talking to you in third person, but I'm talking to the audience. He's really in tune with things as far as that goes. And even with my mom, like I said, my deceased mom saying things about certain things. I can't explain it, I guess. But for those of you out there that want to reach out to Jay, I don't know, is that something you're willing to do, Jay? Actually, now that I get you here,
Actually, I've announced a while ago that I am a psychic medium, and I have helped quite a few people already, and I reach out to people, and I get people contact me to do readings and stuff like that. I do charge now. I do charge for my reading. I'm not a known celebrity by any means, but I don't try to be. I just try to help whoever is in need of the help. And when I reached out to that one day, I was at work when your mom came to me, and I was on a break, and I was just, and it was surreal. So I had to talk to you. I had to send you a message and say, okay, this is your mom's here. But she also wanted me to, say some things so you could validate it, so that you knew that I wasn't making this up. You know what I mean?
Right.
That I wasn't,
Right.
you know what I mean? That, so I was bringing up things that happened in your life that nobody knew and that I was just like privy to. And I just thought that was real. I was blessed that she actually, and she actually said hi to me at work today too when I was there. She was excited that I was going to be talking to you, and she's so proud of you. And oh yeah, I mean, she's just she's with
why,
you all
Jay?
the time.
I know my mom. Thank you very much. I know my mom. She probably got a crush on you. She probably thinks you're cute. That's probably half the battle. But she's, you know what I mean. She was single towards the end, and she liked her psychic mediums, and she liked, you know, her well-cut dudes. And you're a good dude, and she likes nice, wholesome people. And you've never been one.
Right.
You've never like, I asked you for the, you know, like, you've never asked anything of me about my friendship and just to talk to me. And some people, you know, obviously you could tell, and you have that, and I feel safe around that. And I didn't know, because you're not like one to go, yeah, I do this, I do that. I'm selling readings this week. You're not one to really brag and boast. That's why I wasn't sure if you actually did promote. I knew you do that. I just didn't know if openly you would be willing, because you're not one to really toot your own horn. You're very modest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I try not to. I don't want to get caught in that trap of look at me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, you know, but you know, I get prompted from spirit to do certain things and to reach out to people. You know, I mean, in that sense, you know, I'm not one of those guys that will send somebody a message and say, hey, something's going to happen to you really bad. You better be careful. You know, it's like, that's not what I do. I mean, number one, that's against the rules to me. If somebody was to say, if somebody was to say, hey, you know, I would like to hear from a loved one or this or that, then I feel if I'm prompted, which I'm usually prompted, if the person comes to me, then I'm automatically prompted to do so. But I will be honest with somebody. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, you know, I want to talk to this person, that person, or whatever, and if they don't come through, I'm going to tell them straight up, there's, you know, nothing there, you know. And
right. That's where most would try to bullshit and try to go, oh yeah, I see something, to try to make them feel good about themselves.
No, I will not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I won't do that. I won't do that just because of the simple fact that it's not fair to the person. And I'm not, like you said, I'm not one to toot my own horn. But yeah, I do. If you know, a friend of mine, Elizabeth, that is with the Paranormal Funhouse, and Brandon Brody, I kind of helped her to realize you're gifted and this is what, you know, I see for you and this and that. And she helps me now. I mean, when I'm in a low, if I contact her or whatever, she'll contact me and be like, whatever you're doing, you need to knock it off. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, you know, so, but yeah, part of it in the last probably month is, you know, I've got a lot of issues with my car and all this other stuff and work. And, you know, it's time that I start, you know, doing more readings and helping people. And, you know, I need to make my page for Facebook and this and that. So yeah, you know,
that's a little bit missing there, but that's why I see. And you, with that, you could tell something was going on. You were kind of quiet, but you're not one to even boast about your good or bad. You're kind of went in your shell for a little bit, and but I could say something was wrong because you're one to have your light shine. You know what I mean? You're one of those people, dude. The shit you told me, I know people listening probably think I'm trying to sell smoke, and you don't have a book right here. There's nothing to sell from this guy. Jay Hill was on. I mean, from me having my own radio show and podcast show to the things he said that my mom called me, my nicknames, to things that he saw. There's not many people out there that give me goosebumps because I've heard a lot of people tell me things and try to sell me snake oil. Jay Hill, man, you are on. I'm serious, brother. You are on, and you got a great show. I'm sorry, I got about 1 million people blowing up. I know you can't see it, but I got a chat room here, and I got to reach out. Okay. I got to say a couple things. I'm sorry. Okay, Terry York says hi. King says hi. Mike Davis says hello. You got a bunch of people listening to you, brother. George Cannon, how's it going? Terry York. Nicole, she's got her own show on here. Witchin, my girlfriend Heather says hi.
Hi, Heather.
Heather, she's waving. She's right next to me. She's just waving. Thank you, Jay and Adam, for tonight's episode. Let's see, George Carlin, blah, 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 the audio. I do that a lot, the blah thing. Okay, so someone asks, who is it? It is Nicole. Does Jay feel spirits talk to him all the time, or just during meetings or times when you seek her out, so to speak?
It's not. I have my guides speak to me more than anything else.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm in a lull. I have uplifting words. My guides. My guides are. Now I don't know. I discovered this from my friend Elizabeth, probably about a month ago. I was trying to figure out. I gave my spirit guide. She's female, and I gave her a name, but it just kind of didn't feel right. I didn't know what it was. Well, my mom's always been with me. My mom leaves every now and then, but my mom was always with me.
Amen.
And she passed away in 2007. So, so she's been there. But then there's another lady there that is my main spirit guide, and it's just been. I don't know how to describe this, but long story short, come to find out that when Elizabeth I was texting her back and forth, and I was trying to figure out the name of my spirit guide. I thought I knew. She came up with my grandmother's, which is Gladys.
Wow.
Now, and then all of a sudden, all the pieces fell into place, and I was like, oh crap. Because she actually, when I went to visit her last year, I went to visit my mom because she's very next to my mom. When I went home that night, I had a shorter lady, 5 feet above the ground in my bedroom, standing there with a light behind her, and I swear I was awake. And the first thing I said was, "Oh shit," and now
right.
I've never seen I've never seen my grandmother. Okay.
Wow.
My grandmother Gladys held me 3 months after I was born on her deathbed, and I was the only boy that my mom had. So I felt this connection. I never knew my grandmother, but now I know who it is. And boy, I tell you what, yeah, she's in my ear quite a bit. As far as spirits wise, it depends if I'm tuned in. Like if I'm at work, I try to tune out, but that doesn't always work. But I try to keep a low profile, basically, like especially going to Walmart or anywhere, because, once another spirit that's attached to somebody else sees my light, they can approach me. I've had that happen before, but it's my guides say, not now, it's not the right time or whatever, you know what I mean? But
so your guides are almost to an extent like a bodyguard, because I picture it like
pretty much.
I picture it like the movie Ghost, where spirits like, oh shit, this guy hears us. Hey, buddy, and they're like, no, man, he's got his cloud's full. So I get that it's a gift and a curse.
That's the best way. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah. Oh yeah. But when I've done readings for people via text as well.
Wow.
Which is bizarre.
Well, I remember at one point you wanted to go on an investigation with me here in Maine via phone, and we almost did it, and that never fell through, the funeral home. I'm still waiting to hear back from that. But
oh yeah.
I'd love to do something. We were supposed to come up. Of course, Corona really messed everything up, the evil C word. But you were supposed to come down to Massachusetts. But we're going to work together at some point. Even something like that. You're open to new techniques. I mean, you get your hands with everybody. I got all my friends, Brady Goebel and Lexi and all them. You're friends with them.
Yep.
Becca Thomas. Becca's listening. Also, Betsy Brown Williams. She's a big fan. She's listening. Another question.
Hi, Betsy.
Jay, she says she's gonna love that. Another question, real quick for you, Jay. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's
Nicole,
fine.
Nicole, I'm sorry. King, Paranormal King Ross. He asked, how old were you when you really realized you have gifts? You have this technique ability.
I've known pretty much since I was probably young. But to be real and to be honest, I ran from what I didn't know. I didn't have a support group. I didn't have anybody else that was like that except for my sister, who's a year older than me. And we had experiences where we had our intuitions that saved us at one time when we were driving together when we were in high school, and we both were driving down a road, and something happened where we both got this feeling like we needed to turn around, and we did, then come find out later that there was a train accident down the road. Now that could have been us. So that could have been us. Right.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Right. So I always took it with just a grain of salt and this and that. And it wasn't until I was in my 20s again, late in my 20s, when things started waking up. I mean, the paranormal, like, spirits have always been attached to me. Not attached, but I mean, around. And I've always known that, but I've ignored it via alcohol or drugs or whatever, because I was running away from life in general. I was running away from myself, basically.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I did not want to be me. And it took years of going through all that and going through all the excursions of learning that I can't do that and this and that. So long story short, I basically, after I was still drinking back in 2012, early 13. I had a stroke.
Oh, Jesus.
2013, I had a stroke. And
wow.
Yeah. So this is how that happened. I was drinking. I would go to work. I'd wake up to, want to come home to drink. That was my life, because I was just, you know what I mean? So and then I met Tina, my wife, and I wanted to be with her, but Spirit basically said, you can't bring that to the table. And so I prayed, and that night, one night I was really drunk. I woke up and I had a stroke.
Jeez.
Now, be careful what you pray for, because when I had this stroke, when I woke up, I had not had any desire to have a drink. I didn't even know what alcohol tasted like.
Wow.
It was crazy.
It almost like it killed that. It almost like it killed that part of your brain that desired alcohol. It almost like was a blessing in a fucked up way.
Yep. It was a major blessing.
Wow.
And Spirit basically said to me, okay, this is going to come back. You're going to have to deal with this accordingly. Right now, I'm taking it from you. God said, I'm taking it from you. And he did. And for 6 months, it started to come back. And he told me it would. Wow. And it did. Wow. And then but I haven't had a drink since 2013.
Fucking cold turkey because of a death experience.
Yeah.
You literally between she's your wife now, right? Of course. Between your wife and dying, and now look, now you're saving lives, brother. Dude, the stuff that you talk, I can't say enough of it, because I don't know anybody else really that you've read, and it's from what my experience is, you've got me sold, dude, because the things you said to me, man, not to get back to it, but I was low, man. After my accident, I was a month bedridden when Heather was milking and, giving me bread and water, and no one came to visit me. And I was talking to you, and you were the first one to really send me a care package, a t-shirt, and I still wear it with pride. I don't wear it a lot because it's white and I don't want to get it dirty. And what'd you put in the back for me? You told me it's one of a kind. What'd you put in the back?
Oh, remember? That's oh gosh, that was from my
boy in Providence, HP.
I can't remember.
HP
Lovecraft.
Yeah. Boy.
I just felt that's what Spirit just said. That's what he's gonna look at that and he's gonna know, and so that's why I did it.
I want to put it on the wall, but I wear it once in a while.
It's funny you said. It's funny you said that. Yeah, it's funny you said that because I was just thinking of a frame. You should just frame it.
Son of a bitch, dude. That's why I don't want to bet with you, because that's why I don't want to bet with you on sports or anything, because you'd always win.
No.
Real quick, real quick. Betsy's in here. Awesome, Betsy Brown Williams. She's the mega fan of everybody. Such a great supporter. You must know Betsy Brown.
Yep. Yes, I'm friends with her.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. She puts Jay in chat. She put, do you automatically know if a person has gifts like you would do? And if you see this person, do you tell them if they don't already know? Almost like an X-Men.
80% of the 80% of the time I do. If I'm in a conversation with somebody and I'm good friends with them, or I'm friends with them, or I'm reading for them, then yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, you know, you're gifted, right? Like, come on, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a reading that I did at the mansion in August, and the one lady, her deceased friend came through, and then I told her, I said, you know that you're gifted. And she looked at me, and I said, you used to do stuff, and you used to do this. I used to read palms. And then I kind of got out of it because my friend laughed at me, and I said, don't ever do that. Don't ever let anybody take your light from you.
Wow.
And then when, you know, I talked to her when we were getting done, and she shook my hand, she squeezed my hand. I mean, squeezed my hand. Like,
that's energy
validation
transfer.
for thank you. Yeah. And
that's love. So I got to ask real quick.
So,
I want to get into the mansion, but I got to ask because I'm dying to know. How do you know? Is it like a second sense? Do you see like a glow around them? Is it light? Is it aura? Do you just sense these people know? Like, how the hell do you know, man? I got to know. Is it a sixth sense?
It's just like watching TV.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like I'll see pictures of things, or I'll see, you know, it's kind of goes back to remote viewing, you know.
That's insane. And you know it's not reality. Then.
I mean,
or not reality, but not real time.
You know, when you're talking about that and you're trying to figure out, you know, what's there, whatever. I try not to dive too deep into that and try to look on purpose, because the fact that then my brain will start inserting things that don't belong.
Yeah.
You know, it's like kind of like grabbing for straws. It's like, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Either if I get the message, or I get the symbol, or I get something that's predominant, and especially if I get chills, then I'm on the right path.
Right.
But if I'm doing a remote viewing, me and my friend Elizabeth did this where I was practicing my remote viewing, and she hid something in her house, and then she said that now you got to find it, or you got to tell me what it is. And so I was doing remote viewing from Wisconsin to Maryland, mind you, and I told her I saw an egg-shaped thing or something that's like, it looks like a peach, like a ball or something, and I see yellow and this and that, and I got the word figurine. Well, my mind automatically thought figurine like a ballerina, but my grandma was like, no, it's a figurine. So when she sent me the picture, it was a figurine of a dragon and an egg.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a figurine of a dragon coming out of an eggshell. So that's what I saw.
Wow.
What happened was, when I remote viewed, I came too close, and I was like somebody sticks it right in front of your face. I had to stand back and actually look at it. That's what I needed to practice on. So that's, you know, every once in a while we would do that. But yeah, so seeing spirits in that sense, yeah, I don't really see. It's kind of hard to describe, because they just kind of stand before me. If I do a reading for somebody, I have my angels, my guides, my guardians, and a couple other entities, and they're always around me. They're always surrounding me in the center. Okay.
Wow.
And I've got my grandmother talking to me. My mother chimes in every once in a while. I have a Native American. I have a Native American guide who actually, if you look him up, you can Google his name. It's Standing Bear. So,
Ooh.
I acquired him. I acquired him when I was going up north to do an investigation with a friend of mine.
I was going to say,
we
is that from the land you're in? Because Wisconsin's old school native.
Yeah, we were going through Indian land, and actually there was some burial grounds and stuff. And I was told that I needed extra protection for where I was going. And I totally had, I was in tears. This is how intense this was when I was driving. And later on, I found out who it was when it told me, my grandmother actually told me his name. And I looked it up, and Standing Bear.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
And I can't remember the name in Indian, but he called me a strong warrior because I had to look it up.
Oh, that's wild. Jay Hill, Spirit Warrior. Okay, yeah, we got more questions. I don't want to fall behind. We're almost at the half-hour mark as time flies. Real quick, Jay. Shoot, I'm trying to get in the chat. I'm a little stoned. Bear with me. Okay, a few days, Kingsman. Jay, does your gift help with investigations when you're on them? When you go on group investigations?
Oh yeah, most definitely. But
I would think so.
That's my main stance is going in there as a psychic medium, because of the fact that it's easier for me to contact. But I tell you what, they would rather contact me through my brain than on my device. You know, and that's frustrating. Because I can't validate what they're saying, because these people have been deceased for so long or whatever, unless there's somebody that knows that person. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you guys, we need to figure something out. Every once in a while, I would get, an EVP or whatever, but.
Right. No, that was from George. That was from George Cannon. George, great question. George has great show. So you might make some new fans out of this. Like I said, guys, not only is Jay like the leader and founder of the Wisconsin Paranormal Research Team, he's also the host and founder of, one of my favorite podcasts, Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast. And I believe that's weekly. I mean, every time I turn it on, it seems like there's a repeat on. A lot of good material. He just had Natalie Jones on from Paraflix. That was a good episode.
It was. Yeah, that was. It was cool. It was cool.
I'd say every episode. I mean, you've had me on, which was great. I don't mean to boast. Which I think we're due for one at some point.
It's funny that you mentioned Natalie, because I was trying to find a host for somebody, because somebody canceled, and I needed to have somebody fill in, and that's how you got out.
Yeah, I was a surprise guest, dude. That was killer.
Yeah. So
that was really cool.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a blast. It was just a lot of activity happening when I was at the at the mansion up in the office. It was just.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. I got more questions. I'm sorry. I gotta cut down to the questions.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep asking questions. I'll try to make them a little shorter.
Yeah, you got about 30, 40 people lined in. Plus, this show gets replayed loop on the weekly. It's going to be available on Spotify and YouTube and all that good stuff by tomorrow and on Facebook. But for now, let me get to some questions, just because you're an interesting man. That's why I wanted you on here. Not just because you're my friend, obviously, but because you're an interesting fucking cat. And you're honest. And a lot of people like that honest, that good stuff. People like that. Let's see. No Grimmer Police here about my nails typos. Jess, Betsy again. Yes, it can help with teams, but you need to be safe. She realizes you're open. Oops. Every time someone comments, it boots me out. I lost where I was. My bad. Okay, so someone's got a Native American guide as well. Oh, Betsy says she's got a Native American guide. So that's good. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. There's a lot of people chatting. All right. Keep the stuff coming, guys. If I don't see your question, there's a lot of people commenting. It's hard for me to scroll up. Just ask the question again if I didn't say it. I do apologize. I'm not skipping people on purpose at all. So it's hard because every time someone comments, it boots me down to the bottom, and I can only see like 8 at a time. So it's like, oh, and it's like my second show. Right. Okay, cool. Nicole, is anybody else in your family gifted, Jay? I think you said your grandmother. You're intuitive. She might have had a gift.
Actually, it was my dad. I get my gifts are from my dad.
Okay.
So
that was from Nicole.
Yeah, my gifts.
She's got her own show. So that's in your family then. Is that something you've talked about with your dad?
No. My dad passed away when I was 18.
Oh man,
so,
I'm sorry.
I did not get to know my dad like I should have.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But yeah, I've had other mediums who have read me say that, my dad's not on the other side. My dad's on the other side, but he's I call it in class. My dad's on the other side where he's still learning and doing that. That's part of it. Was he was always he also drank too. So I understand why, because the other mediums always said that he was every medium that have said this, like 3 of them, have said that he's always been in his own mind, which I totally relate to. So I understand being a medium and being gifted that you run away from your gifts and you basically kind of internalize or put yourself in your mind and you kind of shut things out, this and that. But yeah.
No, that's
so
true.
My sister, who's a year older than me, is also gifted, even though she doesn't think she is. But she is.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's definitely something, obviously, within, not so much the blood, but just in the genetics or the heritage of your family that goes back. And it could go back to your father, for all you know. It could be your dad's dad. I mean, who knows at this point?
Right.
Let's see.
No, on my dad. On my dad's side, I go all the way back to freaking George Washington.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
That my third great grandfather was friends with George Washington, and he was the first. What is it? The first Attorney General in North Carolina.
Really? Wow, no kidding. That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Really?
His obituary is in the Library of Congress.
Oh man, I think his whiskey still is up too, if I remember right. No shit. One more question. One more question, real quick. Well, 2 more questions are coming in. I really want to get to talk about fucking the hotel. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, sorry, Jay. People want to talk to you. How does Jay deal with negative spirits?
Oh, I have a very large protective shell around me. Let's put it that way. Every medium that I've talked to who've read me or know me know that I am very protected. So
that's a big thing.
As far as that, I protect myself every morning.
Sage?
Nope. I do a protection prayer every morning before I leave the house.
Good man. Wow.
Yep.
That really.
Yep. It's not that I haven't. It's not that I haven't been attacked, because I have. So but I've learned to deal with it and learn to harness my ability, so that when that does happen, that I can, thwart it. Too sweet.
Wow. Man, you got some good knowledge in history, my brother. You get some good stuff going on with all that. The knowledge of your wisdom of what you possess, not to mention the George Washington stuff. I love my history. Holy shit!
I know you do.
Oh yeah, you got.
That's why I name dropped it.
History porn, brother. History porn. Okay, I got another question. So thank you, Melissa Keene. That was your question. Thank you. Let's see. So Ken Bull asks, "Hey Jay, how are you? Can people learn to be mediums?"
I'm good. And what?
Can people learn to be mediums? Can they I guess, take lessons or adapt to be a medium if they're not born one.
Yeah, I believe anybody can. It just depends on your makeup. It depends on what your life path is. You know, if your life path is to be an EMT and you want to enhance your gifts and to help people in that way, that's fine. You know, that's great. There's lots of people that want to aspire to be mediums or to be psychics or empathic or whatever. I do believe that everybody possesses those gifts. It's just a matter of, are you willing to put into work to obtain them? And there's a lot of people that try it and then they say, this isn't for me. Well, and that's fine. But if you think it's not for you or whatever, and you know you think it's no sweat off your back, it's like, whatever, you know. Well, maybe that's not the path that you're supposed to be on.
Right.
You know, and so maybe that your path is something else that God wants you to do and to focus on. You know?
Right. But as you say, you can't turn it off. Those little things where you have deja vu, or when you're like, oh man, I knew that light would turn green. It's little intuitions that we have in our brain that we haven't unlocked.
Oh yeah.
We don't,
they're
there. It's just a matter of
everybody has it.
Absolutely. I believe that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
It's all about let's see, I'm sorry,
anybody can aspire to be, you know, everybody has gifts. And and you're no different.
Yeah. Sometimes
your gift,
myself.
But I will tell you, Adam, your gift is to showcase history.
I appreciate that.
And that is, no, I'm serious. Yours is to showcase history in that sense. And you're gifted as an empathic as well. But you're more or less, the best way to describe it, Adam, is that you're the voice for the dead.
Oh, dude, that is the biggest compliment I think I've had ever. I want to put that on my Facebook thing. The voice for the dead. Like, that's, wow. I'm humbled by that, because I want to bring to life. I appreciate that. I want to bring to life stuff that no one knows about. And honestly, dude, since dying for close to a minute in my accident, seeing my mom and all that stuff, and realizing how precious life is and how short we have, and knowing the answers we want to know, and why not? And you were one of my biggest fans. When I wanted to go back in my shell, you were like, keep sharing, brother. Screw the haters. And here I am now, shining. And those haters are eating some humble pie. And I don't need to name drop them or give them strength, but I'm with one of my best friends right now, Jay Hill, and we're having a great show. And people in chat right now, I wish you could see her. Great show, you guys. Jay Hill's amazing. What a bunch of knowledge. Boy, the history. People are eating this up. We got about 30, 40 listeners, 50 listeners right now, it looks like, in chat. So this is awesome.
I wish we could do this. I wish we could do this for 2 hours. I could be here all night doing this.
Fuck yeah, we got 23 minutes. We're gonna milk it. I really want to talk to everybody about Geneva and talk about the hotel where you broadcast your podcast from. Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube. He broadcasts with his partner. We don't talk a lot about him yet. Shane Feek, right? I say the last name right?
Shane Feek. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah,
I love Shane. Oh yeah, Becca Thomas says hi a long time ago. Becca's watching. She's a big fan of yours and Shane's. She's from Maine Cemetery Diaries. So how did you Shane meet anyway, by the way? I'm curious on that. I'm dying to know that one.
I was on
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was on a podcast. I was on a podcast early on, one of my first video podcasts.
Yeah.
And I had a good time on it, and I thought, and after that I thought, you know what, I think I'd like to do this. And then I kind of heard you had the voice for it, so you could do it. I'm like, okay. So about 2-3 days later, I saw an ad on one of the paranormal pages for a co-host to start a new podcast. I'm like, oh. So I contacted him. It was Shane. Contacted him, talked to him for a few minutes and 20 minutes, and then come to find out he's like, yeah, I really don't want to be a host, or I don't need a co-host. I'd rather be a co-host. So if you want, you can be the host. I'm like, huh? So I wanted to be in the passenger seat. All of a sudden I get lurched in the driver's seat, And then I was like, kind of conflicting, going, can I actually do this? And I heard, yeah, you could do this. Why not? So I took the reins and ran with it.
Oh yeah, you did. You're a natural, dude. You got it. I mean,
22 shows later.
You're a pro. I mean, when you asked
I
me
still
to go
have
on,
my moments. Yeah. I still have my moments though. I still, even though it's been, 7, 8 years, whatever, since my stroke or whatever, but it's, since 2013, 6, 7 years. Yeah. I still have little hiccups here and there, and sometimes my brain likes to be goofy, but to talk to me, you would never think that I lost part of my speech, and I had a stuttering impediment, and, had to walk with a cane for 9 months.
I didn't have a clue, brother. You didn't cry wolf.
Yep.
You didn't cry, not cry wolf, but you didn't cry to me once about. You never said, "Woe is me." You never gave it away. You seemed like a very young, fit man. That's crazy to me. And God knows your work's not done. That's what it is. Your work's not done.
Yeah.
You got a lot more to do here, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I worked so hard.
God bless you always.
I had to get my speech back by reading the Bible in a Scottish accent.
That's awesome.
I had to train myself to do that so that I could get rid of my stuttering.
Wow.
And I would read it out loud to myself every night until I was able to get rid of my stutter, and then and this and that, and then I was fine.
Okay.
And then after 9 months after that, I went back to work.
Tell you.
So
I tell you, man, if you guys don't know Jay Hill, look him up. He may not, be cool to him. I mean, he was obviously going to check you out before he accepts your friend request, but you can at least like Studio 6 Podcast Paranormal and Wisconsin Paranormal Research. And I'm sure with due time, Jay will let you in. He's a good dude. We need more people like Jay. Let's get back to the hotel now. How did that come about that you got to get in there and all that good stuff? I'm dying to know, brother. Before we get more questions.
Okay, let's go.
Still ask questions, though. Still ask questions, but I want to know this.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, how did you get the hotel? Like, did you know the owner? How do you get in there? How'd you get that?
I actually, with the team, I was investigating 2 houses down, and I've always loved the Maxwell Mansion ever since I was in high school. Saying, I always loved that house and that mansion.
Gorgeous.
You know what I mean? So, after that, I was like, I was trying to get in there to get an investigation. Well, I had an in because my wife worked with one of the bartenders at the bank, and then he worked at night at the mansion. Well, then my friend Evan got us in there to do a Halloween special last year, which we got in the paper, by the way, which was seeing my name in the paper was surreal to begin with, but I digress. So, yeah, it was cool. And then, we would, we'd visit every once in a while here and there. And then the hotel was up for sale. And then this new couple came in, and I met them and talked to them and this and that, and we became friends. And they're a young couple, Monica and Luke. So Piper, one day I was, when I started my podcast, I was like, oh man, I really want to do this podcast, but I don't think my wife Tina would really want me to do it in the house because we don't have enough room. And so I said I was going to do it in the bedroom, and she wasn't too keen on it, but she was okay with it. And then something said, why don't you go to the mansion and ask Monica if you can do it there? And I said, hey, that's a great idea. So I went after, work one day. I stopped there and talked to her and asked her if I could do my podcast there. And she said, sure. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She's like, we were talking about it. She's like, yeah, you know what? I'll put you up in the office. And then, You just have to, you could set up your stuff and then, tear it down and whatever. And, you could do it. I said, I want to do it on Sundays. And they said, yeah. And so that's why I started at the mansion. And then they remodeled the office. So I have my own desk, which I have all my stuff up, and I don't have to tear it down anymore. I just go in there and turn on my computer, and, and there I go.
That's the room that you did with me. That's the room that when I went on, the ball was going off. When we're talking about Lizzie Borden. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Heather says, witching. She says, I want to go to the hotel. Yeah, I bet she does.
Oh, yeah. You really do, because I'll tell you a little history about this place.
Please
okay.
Do.
Okay. You're going to love this. Ronald Reagan courted Nancy Reagan at that hotel.
No way.
Yep.
While he was
there is a room.
Wow.
Yeah, that was back in the day. So there's a room called the Grant Suite. It's Ulysses S. Grant's suite. He stayed there.
Wow. Yes.
So
wow, that place has been around for. It's got to be built in the early 1800s. It's got to be 1850s.
1856.
I knew it. Son of a gun. Just by looking at the eaves and stuff. That a gorgeous building.
1856. So you got to understand.
Not haunted, Jay. It's not haunted. It's spirited, right? I get taught that real quick.
It's spirited. I always say that because of the fact that the owners don't like the name haunted.
No, they don't.
Because it kind of gives it a different demeanor.
It's kind of cliche.
Because it's a boutique hotel. It's a very fancy hotel. So if they have spirits that are there, they live there, and we don't have any problem with them. And when I showed up for my gallery reading in August, the lights flickered, so they knew I was there.
Wow. They're saying hi to you. They're going, welcome, Jay. We know you, and you know us.
Yeah.
Or
basically it was. So yeah.
We got 15 minutes left. I know it's flying by. Nicole has another question, which is great. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Jay loves questions. I love the questions. I mean, we could talk forever, but it's good to have questions and good to have audience. It's good to know people are listening. I appreciate that. Yeah. Jay, someone. Okay, real quick. Shoot, I lost it because someone asked another question. Have you ever done large audience readings or like lectures or anything?
That's funny you say. Because I did a gallery reading. Actually, it was just supposed to be a meet and greet, but I ended up doing a gallery reading for 20 people.
Wow.
That was the largest.
Does that make you nervous? Can you do that? Was that okay with you? Did you get a little bit? No?
No, you got to understand. When I was growing up, I always wanted to be a musician. So standing up in front of people was not an issue for me.
Oh, that's cool. That's real cool.
So when I was in high school and I was in speech class in high school, and the teacher said, this is your assignment. You have to get up there and speak. And I said, okay. And the only thing I talked about, the one thing I knew the best of was substances. And I did that, and I had the whole school the whole class, following me. I walked all the way around the house. I made everybody turn around. It was funny. But after that, the teacher said, I would have given you an A if you would have had your note cards. So he gave me a B. So he says, yeah, you don't belong in this class. I was like, oh, great. So he said, no, you need to go to this class. He sent me down the hallway to advanced speech class.
Whoa. But he would beat you. He thought highly of you. He knew you were. And that, to me, is why you're so good at it. You're so good at what you do. And you're so good at asking, like even with Natalie, like obviously the guests will answer their own thing. They have the time. Exactly when to strike. You have a good voice for it.
Right.
Okay, so King Ross asks, hey Jay, have you ever been to Summerwind? I never heard of that.
No, I have not, and that's on my list.
What is that?
That's on my list of things. It's a plant. It's kind of like it was a summer home type deal for the guy. I can't remember the whole story, but there was a book written about it. Yeah, it's not there anymore because it burnt down. But the land is still there. The land is still there. No, I haven't. So I haven't been to Summerlin, but that's one of the places that I want to. It's up in Wisconsin. It's up north.
So,
yeah.
you got 10 minutes.
Okay.
Obviously you have plenty of time to plug stuff, but is there anything that you feel like talking about since you got the floor here?
No, this has just been fun. I mean, if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
I got a couple of myself that I want to ask since everybody's giving me the time to actually ask questions on my own show. I'm just kidding, guys. I love you guys. I gotta throw a little bit in. The ones that know me. You guys know I love you. I'm just giving you some shit. I gotta ask you, Jay, what is your? I'm gonna make it simpler than it really could be. What's your USA based bucket list spot, like area or villa, town, city, whatever destination in America? If you could go one place tomorrow for free, where would you go?
In America?
Yeah, we talking Salem, New Orleans, Texas, Gettysburg? What are you thinking?
Gettysburg.
That you haven't been.
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, huh?
I've never been to Gettysburg. I've never been. I was thinking about that today. That's funny because I was thinking about that today. I was going to mention that I have ancestors that were on the Confederacy side.
You'd be alive in that city. You'd be alive in that town. It's a town, not a city. But
I'm very much drawn to Gettysburg, emotionally drawn, and I don't know why, but that's one of my favorites. Is that I really want to go there. I was actually called to go there a while ago. I was looking up different hotel, bed and breakfast houses that had spirits there, and I was drawn to certain one, but it wasn't the right time. You know what I mean? I'll get there. I just couldn't get there right now. You know what I mean?
And what else you need? Get you to Maine so we can explore some funeral homes and explore Salem. We're supposed to get you up to Salem and do some Hawthorne Hotel. There's plenty of time for that. You know, East Coast, you're my boy. You know I'm going to hook you up, and you'll have a place to crash. And some stuff to see. And same thing if I go out to Wisconsin, I get a place. I'm there. So that's definitely on your list. That's killer. Gettysburg. I've been a couple times, only for a day or two. It's one of those places where you could spend forever because just the markers and the memorials, and they're still finding bullets and everything. That's pretty crazy. Choose. Okay, 8 minutes. We got plenty to talk about. I just don't want to get going and have less time. So what can we fill with 8 minutes? Give people shout outs now. Anybody want to say hi to or anything you want to talk about your Studio 6 podcast? Do it now while we can.
I'll give a shout out to my co-host, Jane Feek, and give a shout out to Paranormal in the Funhouse. Brandon Crody is a friend of mine. Elizabeth Merriquin is a great medium. Sky Ray is a good friend of mine too. I love Sky.
Sky's a big supporter of me too. She's a great,
Oh yeah, she's oh my gosh. I mean, she's like a sister to me. I mean, I love her. So April Brissette is another one that I talked to. That she's helped me out a couple times. She was on the show, one of my my second show. Yeah. I just people who support me and follow the page and everything. I love all of you guys, and I thank all of you for all the love that everybody's shown me. And I didn't think I would be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for all of you. Every single one of you listening, every one of you that have been very big supporters of me. It's all about love. As my father would always say, love above everything.
Absolutely. Betsy saying, love you guys. Awesome show. Talk to you guys soon. Such a great time. Heather's saying, great show. Nicole, great show. King, great show. Everybody, they want to start. A lot of people already following you, but there's going to be people that's going to be on loop that are going to try to follow you. And yeah, a lot of people right now are saying, great. You're great. One person wants to know if you, Betsy, have you ever been to the South or the West at all? California, Texas area, Alabama?
California. My daughter is in the Navy, so she's in San Diego. So yeah, I dipped my toe in the ocean, and that was about it. And yeah, I've been the farthest south I've been is in Arkansas. So
you didn't do Route 66 at all? That's my bucket list. I love to do some of Route 66.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'm a Colorado guy too. Yeah, I'm a big Colorado guy.
That's where Betsy.
I lived in Colorado when I was younger.
Yeah,
Arkansas, yeah. Yep. There's the mountains are one of my energy sources. That and the Lake Geneva, the water is my energy source when I meditate.
That was my next question. What do you prefer? Are you a water, fire, air, earth sign? What do you prefer?
Water,
mountains, dirt?
water and earth. So yeah, anything trees, but water, mountains I would say are my top thing. I mean, when I'm in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, I feel I'm closer to God.
Nature, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not into. We got 5 minutes. We can go a tiny bit over. Are you into? I never really asked this. Are you into Bigfoots and like aliens type shit too? Do you dig monsters? I mean, Woodsy, you must be into something.
Yeah, I'm not that into Bigfoot. You know, it's kind of like, and take it or leave it. I mean, it's cool, but I'm more, I guess, spiritual side of things. You know what I mean? Aliens. Yeah.
With that stuff.
Yeah. Aliens. Yeah, that's another one that's just like, if they came out tomorrow and said we're here, I'd be like, okay. You know. So
that's what I like about you too. You got balls of steel. There's not too much. I'd say fairly that there's not too much that really, geez, especially after the stroke and your parents, you know, at such a young age passing away. I don't think there's too much that really truly scares you. And I mean that in not a cocky way. Obviously, you're not like a
no.
But I mean, you're not really like you know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any places in Wisconsin? I'm sorry, Ken Bull. Thank you, Ken, for this question. Is there any places in Wisconsin that are still attached to Edward Gein, Ed Gein, the serial killer? That's a name a lot of people are familiar with. That.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I had a little bit of a spiritual connection, I would say, with Mr. Gein, and it wasn't something that I was very fond of. I don't know how. Let me put it this way: to be kind of coy, I don't know how he got my number, so to speak. But there was one day where he was on my mind and on my brain every morning. I woke up for like a week.
Wow.
And I was not happy because I don't know anything about this guy. And I choose not to know anything about this guy because I am not I'm not a serial killer fan. I'm not, and that to each his own. It's just my personal preference. I'm not a big,
right. It's a lot of sorrow.
I don't like, right. And so it was hard for me to focus out of that.
Shit, and that's a whole other episode alone, man.
Yeah, no, there was something. There was another person that I don't know if I was talking to them or a medium or somebody that had there was some piece of something that he owned that somehow came across my path and it triggered something in my brain. And so I basically kind of closed that door, and it took everything I had to close that door because I don't know what he wanted or what the deal was, but everywhere I turned, his name would pop up for like a week. And I was like,
Oh,
stop.
man.
You need to stop. Yeah.
Wow. That's all.
So,
I'm sorry. We got a minute to go. That's a whole nother episode. Shit. That just means real quick, I'm going to plug my own. Tomorrow is my first ever podcast on the BB3 TV network, Historically Haunted Podcast. My first ever ghost is a video podcast. It'll be Heather, my girl, from the Witchin' podcast. But I'm going to have Jay on, or I'll be on his show. Jay Hill, everybody. Jay, for a minute to go, you want to tell us where everybody can find you every week and all that good stuff?
People can find me on Facebook at Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast. I am on, my personal page is Jay Hill, but I'm very cautious on who I accept for friends. So Don't take it personal if I don't accept your friend request. I'm trying to create my own private, my second medium page. And then once I get that up, then I can let people know, hey, you can follow me on that and this and that. But I'm also on Instagram with Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast, as well as Wisconsin Paranormal Research on Instagram and Facebook. And I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube. I had 63, but I lost a couple. So I don't know why, but that was really weird. So yeah, so my YouTube page kind of sucks. So, I mean, content's good, but I don't have many subscribers, which is fine. You know what? I do it to get that out there so people can see me and Shane and what we talk about and educate people and help people. People reach out to me a lot, and I try to help as many people as I can. But if I don't get to you, or if I don't answer your text, or if I don't answer your messenger or whatever, it's nothing personal. It's probably, especially in Messenger, I've got probably 15, 20 messages open, that I'm contacting people all the time. So.
Well, then I guess I feel good because you're always right on with me, you motherfucker. I love it. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, we got to go. They're calling me out. It's 9:01. We could talk forever. Follow this man. He's a good dude. He's going to have more stuff up and coming. Jay Hill's one of the good ones in the good fight. He's the one you want on your side. Be cool to him, though. He don't play that shit. Thank you guys for listening. Terry York, Nicole, Mike Davis, Melissa Keene, Paranormal King, Becca Thomas from Cemetery Diaries, Heather's new show, Witch and Paranormal, is going to be on next Thursday on this thing. I'm going to be her first guest. I just let the cat out of the bag. Betsy freaking Jay, I love you, brother. The hour's up. We got to go. Thank you, Ross, Paranormal King
I love
Radio.
you too, man. Thanks for having me. And thank you for everybody that's listening. So.
Yeah, we got a couple more questions. That just means tune in next time. We'll leave you guys wanting more meat.
That's right. I want to be on again. This was fun.
You're going to be on again. Thank you guys for listening to the Historically Haunted Show with Adam Began. I'm your host, and my guest tonight, Jay Hill. Y'all, God bless and have a great night. And don't forget, keep those cemeteries looking. Get out there and explore. Enjoy your life and have fun. Have a good night, guys.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.